Okay, 3.2. In this video we will be working more on adding and subtracting to solve an equation for x. So -1 equals x plus 5. So again, what that means is I've got some number x. Don't know what it equals, but if I add 5 to that number, I end up at -1. Okay? Now we don't want to guess it. Like if say x is 3, 3 plus 5 is 8, so that ain't the right answer. Well, to figure out the right answer, we're going to circle our equals, put that wall on the side of the equals where x is. X and 5 we have plus, so I circle the x. Now I've got to get rid of the plus 5. I got to get from plus 5 to 0. Positive 5 to 0 is going backwards, so backwards means minus. Minus 5. Now that's 0, go to the other side and minus 5. So line up your equals. Equals just line straight up and down. So we have x, -1 minus 5. You can use a calculator, just go -1 minus 5. -1 minus 5, -6. Or you could use a number line and say, okay, I'm at -1. If I go minus 5 is backwards 5, so that's going to be -6. Okay, my next problem. X minus 3 equals -6. So I'm over here on this side, okay? So with the equals. So over here, x and 3 have a minus, okay? So I circle the 3. Now minus 3 is a plus -3 always, okay? So I have to go from -3 to 0. So -3 to 0 is forward 3. So plus 3. Take it to 0, and then I have to go to plus 3 on the other side. So I line up the equals. I have x. -6 plus 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm at -3. Okay, next problem. X plus 2 equals -6. Now I'm actually going to write this down twice, okay? You don't have to do it this way, but I want to use that to check my answer. I haven't told you how to check your answer yet, okay? So let's equals, line up the wall. X and 2, there's a plus sign, so I circle the x, and I have to go from +2 to 0, because I want that to become 0. So positive to 0 is backwards, so -2, and that's 0. -2, so I have x, -6 minus 2. You can either go -6 backwards 2, it's -8, or you can go calculator, -6 minus 2 is -8. Now here's how you can check your answer. X is -8, okay? So let's put a -8 above that. Plus 2, is that -6? Well, if I'm at -8 and go forward 2, I'm at -6, which is exactly the number we have. So that's the right answer. Okay, -7 plus x equals -3. X is on the left side. Between the x and the 7 is a plus sign, so I circle just the x. I like to circle that. This number outside here we have to take to 0. Okay? Going from a negative to 0 is adding 7. Now that's 0. Now I go add 7 to the -3. You have to add 7 here and add 7 on the other side of your wall. So we have x, -3 plus 7. So -3 plus 7 means forward 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that would be 4. Or you can take the calculator and just go -3 plus 7. Okay, next one. 8 plus x equals -2. Then I'm going to write it down a second time so I can check my answer. Okay, this is optional. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. Okay. So I'm going to go right here. So I circle the equals. X is on the left. Okay. So x and 8, there's a plus sign. So I circle the x. Now we have to take this 8 to 0. If it doesn't have a sign in front of it, it's a positive. Okay, so we're going from positive 8 to 0. Positive to 0, I'm going backwards, so I have minus 8. Go to the other side, here's the wall, go to the other side of the wall and minus 8. So you got x, negative 2 minus 8. You can either just do that on a calculator, or you can go at negative 2 on a number line, and minus 8 means backwards 8. Negative 10. Okay. Now if I want to check my answer, I will just put a negative 8 above that x. So 8 plus negative 10. Now if I'm at 8 and I add negative 10, I'm going backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm at negative 2, which is exactly what it says. Or I can just take a calculator and go 8 plus negative 10. Negative 2. Okay, next up. 5 equals x minus 3. So there's a number, I take away 3, I end up at 5. What's the number? So x is right there. Minus, so I circle the x. A minus means a plus negative. Okay? So you need to go from negative to 0, which means you're going forward, which means you're plussing 3. And then plus 3 to their 5. So line up your equals. You have x. 5 plus 3 is 8. Okay, next one. I'm going to check my answer on this one, so I'm going to write it twice. You don't have to check your answer on any of them if you don't see the need. Okay, so x is on this side. There's an x in the 4, there's a plus, so I circle the x. You have to go from positive 4 to 0, so positive to 0 is backwards, so minus 4. Minus 4. That's 0. X, 5 minus 4 is 1. To check our answer, we'll put 1 in for x. 1 plus 4 equals 5. Okay, last problem. X minus 10 equals negative 2. Here's equals. X is on the left side. Okay. X and 10, there's a minus, so I circle the x, and the minus means that that 10 is a negative. So you're going from negative 10 to 0. Going from a negative to 0 is going forward. Okay, so forward means plus 10. Negative 2 plus 10, you can do that on a calculator, or you can just go negative 2 forward 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm at 8.